Hello and welcome everyone. Continuing with our previous lecture on what's new in Blazor in ASP.NET Core 3.1, we'll be looking at a couple of other features, new features that has been released in the recent Blazor version also of 3.1 with the same name as ASP.NET Core. So the first feature is this ability to pass parameter to top level components. Okay, and the second one that you will study is default action prevention. So default action prevention, those who have come from a strong JavaScript background or those who have a good knowledge of JavaScript will know there is a default action prevention in JavaScript as well, but we will do it with Blazor in C#. So let's switch over to Visual Studio now. Now, yesterday I have left at creating a counter.razor.cs class, and it had a private field int current count. Now, in order to pass a parameter, we'll pass the parameter into this component type that we have created, and with the render mode as server pre-rendered. So we'll pass a parameter from this host.cshtml to a counter component. All right. So what we'll do, the first requirement is we'll get rid of this and we'll have to create a public property. So prop tab and make it, just copy from here. And rename it to current count, and then we'll have to put an attribute of parameter. So parameter attribute, that will make it a component parameter. Okay, and then go back to host.cshtml, and here we'll have to write like this within this component and end component tag. This is param, not params, param hyphen current count, whatever is the name of that parameter that we have just created. Param current count equals, now this time this will be within the double quotes, although it's a number, and that's it. Now if we rebuild the solution, if we run this application again, Control F5, now you can see that you have got a component over on top. This counter component starts with 10, and if you click on it, will increase from 10 onwards. Okay, and this original counter is still initialized at 0, so it will increment from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is a nice way to initialize a component. And next feature is default action prevention. So what happens is that prevent default event, it prevents any key press other than what we are configuring in the code. So let's do it hands-on. So within the pages folder, I will add a component, new item, which is another Blazor or Razor component. So click on web and Razor component, and I will name it prevent default. Prevent default.razor. Okay, so I don't need this header, and I will create a default route with the @page directive / prevent default, and here I will make a note for the users how this application will behave with the prevent default in place. So within paragraph and end paragraph, I will write press plus or minus to change the count. All right, so just pressing plus or minus will change the count, and let's see what it will change and how it will change in this bit. So add code. So let's start writing within the add code section. So I'll create an count field of integer type, int count 0, and then here let me write a void method, key handler method, key handler. It will be clear in a minute. So let me make it capital, and I'll pass a parameter of, now this is keyboard event args, so EV. So if EV, so event argument I have passed, so EV, that's the event argument dot key. You can see this is a key property, equals, if it is equal to plus sign, then do something, else if do something else. Let me write the stub first, and then we will complete the coding. So all it is going to do is to increment the count by 1, count plus plus, and else if, I'll just copy from here, ev dot key equals negative or minus, then count minus minus, decrement count, and that's it. But before finishing, I'll have to call this key handler method. So I'll create an input box or input text box whose value will be bound to this count property at count, and just close the tag so that it will give you everything properly. Okay, and then 2 more bits are left at on key press. So you can see all these events on key press. I will call the key handler with an @ sign, @ key handler. So now you can see key handler is also there. Yeah, so IntelliSense is at work. Now after this end quotes at on key press, I'll have to bind this at on key press to prevent default. So you can see that to these 2 properties are there. One is prevent default. It specifies whether to cancel if the default action that belongs to the at on key press event, if cancelable. Okay, so it will prevent the default. So it will prevent any other key other than these 2 keys to increment to allow the increment to allow the counter to increment. So this will be seen in action. So before that, I will actually go to the nav menu and create a navigation. I'll just copy over this. So this will point to prevent default. Let's see. Yeah, just copy from here. Copy. And then href to that URL, prevent default, and then just write down prevent default. All right, and then we are ready to run this application again. So the application is in front of me. It is loaded on the browser, and you have got this nice text box with a press plus or minus to change the count. And if you press on plus, it will increase 4, 5, 6. It was previously 3 maybe, and if you put minus, if you press minus 9, 1, 0, minus 1, and again plus, will increase the count. And if you press any other key, say K, A, B, C, D, anything, it will prevent any other key to be pressed. So that's all for today, and in this lecture we have learned two things: how to pass parameters to higher level components, and how to prevent a default.